Stop. Look at your boarding pass. In 2026, this piece of paper is a trap. Airlines have quietly rewritten the contract of carriage while you were sleeping. They introduced 10 new shadow rules designed to fine you, ban you, or leave you stranded. We are talking about fines for standing up, hidden, solo traveler, taxes, and mandatory face scans. If you walk into an airport today playing by the 2024 rules, you will lose money. Guaranteed. Let's expose the 10 rules they don't want you to notice, starting with the middle seat robbery. Let's start with the most insidious change, the solo tax. If you are someone who travels alone, whether you are a digital nomad, a business flyer, or just someone visiting family, you are now being specifically targeted. In the past, a seat was a seat. If the flight cost $300, it cost $300 for you, and $300 for the person next to you. But in 2026, airline algorithms have evolved to be much smarter, and much meaner. They know that solo travelers are significantly less price-sensitive than families or groups. A family of 4 will cancel a vacation if the price jumps $50 per person because that adds up to $200. A solo traveler usually just grumbles and pays it because they have to get there. So, the dynamic pricing engines are now identifying single-seat queries and artificially inflating the base fare. I have run tests where searching for one ticket yields a price of $600, but searching for 2 tickets on the exact same flight drops the per-person price to $450. They are betting on your desperation. They are penalizing your independence. To fix this, you need to become a ghost. Never search for flights while logged into your frequent flyer account, and always browse in incognito mode to stop them from tracking your search history. But here is the ghost passenger hack. Before you book, do a search for 2 adults. If the price per person drops significantly, you know the airline is applying the solo tax. In that case, try booking via a third-party aggregator or use a VPN to change your location, forcing the system to give you the standard market rate. Next up is the biometric ultimatum. The days of the paper boarding pass are numbered. In 2026, the industry wants your face to be your ticket. This sounds convenient in the commercials. You walk up, the camera scans you, and you walk on. No phone, no paper, no hassle. But here is the dark side that the press releases didn't mention: privacy, security, and system failure. These biometric systems are prone to false negatives and massive data privacy leaks. When you scan your face at the gate in Atlanta, London, or Dubai, where does that data go? Is it deleted after the flight? Or is it shared with third-party security vendors and stored in a database forever? More importantly, we are seeing reports of system outages. When the biometric grid goes down, which happens often, the manual backup process is now so slow that flights are delayed, or passengers are bumped. If you rely solely on your face, and the machine doesn't recognize you, you are pulled out of line 4, enhanced screening, while everyone else boards. You must fight for your right to opt out. In the US and most of Europe, you legally have the right to refuse facial scanning at the gate. You simply say to the agent, "I am opting out, please scan my boarding pass." It takes 15 seconds longer, but it keeps your biometric data off the server. Always keep a digital and a paper backup of your boarding pass. Do not trust the camera to know who you are. Number 3 is the gateway ambush. For years, domestic flights in the US and many international long-haul routes ignored carry-on weight. As long as the bag fit in the overhead bin, you were good. That era is over. European budget carrier rules have infected the major global airlines. In 2026, airlines are incentivizing gate agents to weigh carry-on bags. Why? 2 reasons. First, a heavier plane burns more fuel, and airlines are under pressure to cut carbon emissions. Second, charging you $75 to gate check a heavy bag is pure, 100% profit. They are catching people who pack dense items, cameras, tech gear, hard drives, heavy coats. Your bag fits the size dimensions perfectly, but if it is over 10 kilograms, 22 pounds, you are getting fined. It is an ambush because they don't weigh it at check-in, they weigh it at the gate when you have no other options. The workaround is to know the limit of your specific ticket. Buy a $10 digital luggage scale and use it at home. If your bag is heavy, take out the heaviest items, your laptop, your camera, your power bank, your heavy coat, and hold them or put them in your pockets while you board. They weigh the bag, they do not weigh your body. Once you are on the jet bridge and past the agent, you can put the items back in the bag. This leads us to the rule change that is physically costing people their expensive gear, the watt-hour confiscation. We all travel with power banks. But due to a massive spike in lithium battery fires in cargo holds and cabins, airlines and the TSA have tightened the screws on what kind of battery you can bring. It used to be about size. Now, it is about visible certification. Gate agents and security personnel are now instructed to check the label of your power bank. If your battery is old, scratched, and the UL certification or the watt-hour (WH) capacity text has rubbed off or faded away, they are authorized to confiscate it immediately. They do not care if it looks safe. If they cannot read the specs to verify it is under the 100 WH limit, it is considered a hazardous unknown object. I have seen travelers forced to throw $100 Anchor batteries in the trash bin at the gate because of a faded sticker. Inspect your gear tonight. If the text on your power bank is faded, try to find the original manual or put a piece of clear tape over the label to preserve it. If it's unreadable, buy a new one before your trip. And never, ever put a loose battery in a checked bag. That is an instant way to get your luggage cut open and the item removed without you knowing until you land. Now, let's talk about the premature standing penalty. We have all laughed at the people who stand up the second the plane wheels touch the runway. But in 2026, the airlines aren't laughing. They are fining. Operational efficiency is the god airlines worship now. When passengers stand up early, they block the aisle, interfere with crew duties, and create liability issues if the plane breaks suddenly. Major carriers are piloting disruptive passenger protocols that flag repeat offenders who disobey the "fasten seatbelt" sign. In extreme cases, like we've seen in Turkey and parts of Asia, this can lead to on-the-spot fines or being put on a temporary no-fly list for that carrier. You might think you are just stretching your legs, but the airline sees you as a safety threat. Sit down. It is that simple. Do not be the person who tries to save 45 seconds and ends up flagged in the system. Wait for the ding. The doors aren't open yet anyway. Number 6 is the rule that causes people to miss flights they arrived early for, the ghost passenger cutoff. Airlines are quietly moving the goalposts on check-in times. It used to be that you could check in 45 minutes before a domestic flight. Now, many carriers like United are shifting that to 60 or even 90 minutes. Why? Because they want to oversell the flight. If you haven't checked in by the new, earlier deadline, they mark you as a no-show, give your seat to a standby passenger, and keep your money. You show up 50 minutes before the flight, technically early enough to walk to the gate, but the system has already deleted you. You are a ghost passenger. You exist in the terminal, but you don't exist on the plane. Do not wait for the airport. Check in on the app the second the 24-hour window opens. Secure your digital boarding pass immediately. This locks your seat and tells the algorithm, "I am coming," preventing the ghost passenger deletion. Next, we have the lounge devaluation. If you are holding a premium credit card, Amex Platinum, Chase Sapphire, etc., you probably think you have lounge access. In 2026, you probably don't. The overcrowding in lounges became a meme, so the banks and airlines swung the hammer. Most passes are now strictly capped, e.g., 6 visits a year. Most guest privileges are gone, you pay $50 for your spouse. And the arrivals access is dead. You can only enter before a flight, not after. If you planned your layover around getting a free meal and a shower, you might be eating a cold sandwich at the gate instead. The value proposition of these cards has collapsed, but the annual fees haven't. Audit your credit card benefits now. Do not find out at the lounge desk. If you have used your caps, look for Priority Pass restaurant credits that might still be active, or consider if the card is even worth keeping anymore. Number 8 is the DTA paperwork wall. In 2026, your passport is not enough. The UK has fully rolled out the ETA. Europe has the ETAS. These are mandatory digital travel authorizations that you must pay for and get approved days before you fly. The airlines are the enforcers. Their systems are hard-coded to deny boarding if your passport number isn't linked to an approved ETA. I have heard horror stories of travelers standing at check-in, trying to apply on their phone, only to realize the approval takes 72 hours. Their vacation ends before it begins. Treat the ETA like a full visa. Apply 1 month in advance. Print the approval email. Do not rely on the digital link working perfectly. Number 9 is the route cull, ghost flights. We have to talk about the shrinking map. Bookings from Europe and Canada to the US have dropped, and profitability is down. Airlines are responding by ruthlessly cutting routes. That direct flight you used to take, it might be gone. This means more layovers, longer travel days, and tighter connections. But the danger is the last flight of the night. Because routes are thinner, if the last flight is cancelled, there is no backup plane until the next morning. You are sleeping in the terminal. The first flight rule is now mandatory. Always book the first flight of the morning. These flights are statistically less likely to be cancelled because the plane is already at the airport from the night before. Avoid the last connection of the day at all costs. Finally, number 10 is the middle seat demand surge. This rule change is pure greed. Historically, the middle seat was the penalty box. Nobody wanted it, so it was the last to be assigned, usually for free. But airlines realized a flaw in their logic. Families want the middle seat because they want to sit together. So, under the new, dynamic seat pricing, airlines are charging a premium for middle seats during peak family travel times. If you are a basic economy flyer thinking, "I'll just take the middle seat for free," think again. You might be forced to pay $25 to sit in the worst seat on the plane, simply because the algorithm knows demand is high. If you are traveling in a group, book the aisle and the window. Leave the middle empty. If the flight isn't full, you get the whole row. If someone books the middle, offer to trade, they will happily take the aisle or window. If you are solo, skip seat selection entirely and check in exactly 24 hours in advance to roll the dice on a free assignment. The golden age of flying is gone. We are in the age of optimization. The airlines are optimizing for their shareholders, not for your comfort. But you can still win. You just have to stop thinking of yourself as a guest and start thinking of yourself as a player in a game with very strict rules. You know the game now. You know about the battery labels, the weight limits, the check-in cutoffs, and the solo pricing traps. When you walk into the terminal next week, you won't be the stressed victim arguing with the agent. You will be the person who breezes through because you read the fine print that everyone else ignored. Now, knowing these rules is step 1. But packing correctly is step 2. If you want to see the specific packing strategy one used to bypass the weight checks and never pay for a bag again, I have a complete guide waiting for you right here on the screen. Click that video, and I'll see you there.